Hey visionaries, ever wondered, why do some people keep winning and growing stronger while others collapse after success? In The Winner Effect by neuroscientist Ian Robertson, we discover how victory rewires the brain, boosting confidence, but sometimes blinding judgment. Today, we'll explore how the brain's response to success shapes leaders, athletes, and dreamers through stories of Picasso's son, Flipkart's founders, Bill Clinton, and more. Welcome back to Read with Joy, where books spark bold change. Let's dive in and uncover how wins can either build lasting greatness or trigger downfall. Chapter 1. The Mystery of Picasso's Son. Why do some people rise stronger after winning while others crumble under pressure? Because winning triggers changes in the brain's chemistry that can either boost confidence or inflate ego dangerously. The way we respond to success shapes whether it leads to more wins or unexpected downfalls. Take the story of Picasso's son. Imagine being born into the shadow of one of the greatest artists the world has ever seen. He had the talent, he had the legacy, but every time he tried to step forward, he felt crushed by the weight of expectations. Instead of shining in his own light, he doubted himself, thinking he had to live up to a name much bigger than his own. This is the mystery the author wants you to think about. How often do people hold themselves back? Not because they lack ability. Their mindset is trapped in comparison, fear, and small thinking. The real obstacle is not outside. It's that voice inside telling them they aren't good enough or can't be more than what others expect. When your mindset shifts from self-doubt to confidence, something powerful begins to change. You stop trying to live up to someone else and start creating your own path, one no legacy or shadow can dim. So the author challenges everyone. Don't be like Picasso's son who was limited by his father's fame. Be the person who thinks beyond limits, dares to dream bigger, and steps boldly into your own success story. Lesson: confidence grows when we believe in our unique greatness, not in living up to others' shadows. Chapter 2. The Puzzle of the Changeling Fish. Why does a loser suddenly become the winner? What flips the switch? Because when circumstance changes, like a loser fish inheriting territory, it triggers biological shifts, testosterone, that transform behavior. Small wins can cascade into confidence, momentum, and more victories thereafter. In the early 2000s, a modest startup in Bengaluru named Flipkart was born as an online bookseller. Flipkart was founded by Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal, both former Amazon employees. They stepped into an Indian e-commerce market, already dominated by large retail giants and global players. Flipkart was the underdog. Its founders had no major backing and started by delivering books on hired bikes. But a few early wins, a clever cash-on-delivery model, timely customer service, and positive word of mouth, gave them a foothold. Each small victory boosted their confidence, attracted angel funding, and increased team morale. As their sales grew, investor confidence surged, enabling them to expand product categories, hire top talent, and build logistics infrastructure. Over time, it dominated the Indian market, culminating in its record-breaking sale to Walmart in 2018. It all happened through the chain reaction of early wins, just like the changeling fish that transforms and takes control. Lesson man, small early wins spark brain changes that fuel momentum toward bigger victories. Chapter 3. The Enigma of Bill Clinton's Friend. Why do powerful people sometimes start making foolish decisions? Because rising power changes brain chemistry, which lowers fear and inflates confidence beyond reality. This distorted sense of control makes people ignore feedback and take reckless risks. Bill Clinton and Tony Blair were once very close. Clinton, as U.S. president, helped guide and support Blair when he became the Prime Minister of the UK in 1997. They shared similar political ideas and had a strong personal connection. But things changed during the 1999 Kosovo War. Clinton, who was dealing with the Monica Lewinsky scandal and had just faced impeachment, became more cautious and careful. He wanted to avoid risky decisions. On the other hand, Blair had just won a huge election and was full of confidence. He was ready to take bold actions, even if the US didn't fully agree. This difference in thinking created tension between the two friends. The author, Ian Robertson, explains that success and power actually change the brain. When people feel powerful, their brains release chemicals like testosterone and dopamine. These make them more confident, more aggressive, and less likely to listen to others. So, as Blair's power grew, he became more assertive and stopped seeing Clinton as a mentor. Their friendship slowly faded, not just because of politics, but because power made them think and act differently. Lesson: power can distort judgment when confidence outpaces reality, risking reckless decisions. Now reflect on this learning. How does your mindset shape your response to success, lifting you up or holding you back? Chapter 4, The Mystery of the Oscars. Why do we crave big wins like Oscars, even if we don't need them? Because winning acts as a deep psychological safety signal, protecting our sense of self and warding off social threat. It gives meaning, reassurance, and resilience, making us feel more secure and alive. In this chapter, Ian Robertson explores a fascinating discovery. Oscar winners live, on average, 4 years longer than actors who were nominated but didn't win. That sounds surprising. After all, both winners and nominees are highly talented, wealthy, and respected. So what explains the difference? Robertson says it's not the money or the fame, but the psychological power of winning. When someone wins an Oscar, it gives them a lasting sense of control, achievement, and social approval. It tells their brain you've made it. This triggers positive changes in body chemistry, reducing stress, increasing confidence, and strengthening resilience. Take the example of Charlton Heston, who won Best Actor for Ben-Hur. His Oscar win gave him lifelong recognition, not just from fans, but from the entire film industry. He remained relevant, powerful, and in control of his image for decades. In contrast, Richard Burton, despite being nominated multiple times and widely respected, never won. According to Robertson, that missing validation may have quietly impacted his self-worth, increased his stress, and even affected his long-term health. The key point here is that winning changes us biologically. It doesn't just feel good, it reshapes how we cope with pressure, how others treat us, and even how long we live. That's why so many people chase big awards like the Oscars. It's not ego, it's biology. Lesson: winning offers deep psychological reassurance that strengthens resilience and well-being. Chapter 5, The Riddle of the Flying CEOs. How can repeated success make you lose touch with reality? Because winning again and again makes your brain release chemicals that make you feel unstoppable. You start making poor decisions, stop caring about others' opinions, and ignore the dangers around you. In the early 2000s, Jeffrey Skilling, the CEO of Enron, was one of the most admired business leaders in America. Under his leadership, Enron went from a regular energy company to one of the most powerful and innovative companies on Wall Street. As the company kept winning, stock prices rising, media praise pouring in, Skilling and his team started to believe they could do no wrong. They created complex financial structures to hide debt and inflate profits. They didn't ask, "Is this right?" They thought, "We're smart, we'll figure it out." Skilling became so confident that he ignored warnings and surrounded himself with people who only said yes. Just like the flying CEOs in the book who flew private jets to ask for help, Skilling lost touch with how bad things really were. In 2001, Enron collapsed in one of the biggest corporate scandals in US history. Thousands lost their jobs and savings. This story shows exactly what the author explains. When success goes to your head, it can blind you. You stop seeing risks, ignore other people's advice, and make reckless choices. It's not just a business failure, it's what happens when power changes how the brain works. Lesson: repeated success can blind us to risks, causing dangerous overconfidence and poor choices. Chapter 6, The Winning Mind. What really separates a winner's mind from everyone else? A winner's brain rewires itself, boosting confidence, focus, and resilience after each success. Small wins stack up, creating momentum, shifting perception, and forging a mentality that's primed to win again. Reed Hastings began Netflix as a DVD by mail service, an idea many thought wouldn't last. But as people started signing up and loving the model, those first wins gave him something more than just momentum. They rewired his thinking. Each success sharpened his confidence. Instead of playing it safe, he made a bold move, shifting from DVDs to streaming. Even when critics doubted him and risks were high, Hastings trusted his instincts. And as Netflix's streaming grew, so did his ability to see the future and shape it. With every milestone, from launching original shows to winning global subscribers, his mindset evolved. He didn't just keep up with the industry, he led it. Hastings became the perfect example of how early wins build a winner's brain, one that thinks bigger, acts braver, and pushes beyond limits. Netflix didn't just disrupt entertainment, it was powered by the winning mind of its founder. Lesson: a winner's brain rewires itself after success, creating momentum that propels future wins. Now reflect on this learning. Are your wins making you wiser or blinding you to the dangers ahead? That wraps up The Winner Effect, a book that shows winning isn't just a moment, it's a biological shift that can shape your future. If you want more, read this along with 40 life-changing book summaries at www.readwithjoy.in or email us for a physical copy. From Picasso's Sun to Flipkart's rise, from Bill Clinton's friendships to Netflix's bold leaps, these stories reveal own truth. Success changes the brain, but wisdom decides the outcome. So here's the question for you. Are your victories making you wiser or just blinding you with overconfidence? Share your thoughts in the comments. And as always, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay inspired. Thanks for watching from Read with Joy. Until next time, keep turning wins into wisdom.